You know, we're all kind of handed a script for life, a set of rules we're supposed to follow. But what happens when reality just doesn't follow the script? Well, that's where a lot of our frustration comes from. So today, we're going to explore 7 really hard truths that once you truly accept them, can set you free in a profound way. Let's get into it.
The great Stoic philosopher Seneca really hit the nail on the head here. Think about it. So much of our anxiety, our stress, our unhappiness, it doesn't actually come from what's happening to us. It comes from the stories we tell ourselves about what's happening. Our journey today really starts by owning this one simple fact. Our biggest battles are usually the ones we create in our own minds.
I mean, we're all told the same things, right? Work hard, you'll be successful, be a good person, and good things will happen to you. Follow the rules, and life will be fair. But that's just not how the world actually works, is it? And that huge gap between the map we were given and the real territory of life, that's where all the disappointment lives. Just accepting that the map is wrong is the very first step to finding a better path.
All right, so here's our roadmap for this conversation. First, we're going to talk about facing reality for what it is. Then, we'll dive into some truths about your inner world, and after that, we'll look at the world outside of you. And we'll wrap it all up with the final, most empowering truth and the choice that comes with it.
You see, real growth, true peace, it doesn't come from adding more beliefs or more rules. It actually starts by letting go of the comforting lies we've been telling ourselves. It all begins the moment we stop running from things that make us uncomfortable and decide to just look at them, honestly, head on.
Okay, so now we're going to turn the lens inward. Because before we can deal with the outside world, we have to understand what's going on inside our own heads. This is where the real work happens. This is about winning the war within.
And here it is, truth number 1. The main reason we're unhappy most days isn't the situation itself, it's how much we fight against it. Our mind just becomes this battleground. We're fighting imagined futures, we're refighting old battles from the past. As one person put it so well, 99% of my anxiety is due to the negative scenarios I alone have created in my head.
And this idea right here, it changes everything. Both modern psychology and ancient philosophy tell us the same thing. Your emotions are not the enemy. Anger, sadness, fear, they're just data. They're signals from your body telling you to pay attention to something. They only become a problem when we ignore them or try to push them down. The goal isn't to stop feeling, it's to start understanding.
This brings us to truth number 2, and honestly, this is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy that can change your entire life. We waste so much energy, so much time on things we have absolutely zero control over. The real secret to a peaceful mind is learning to focus your energy only on where it can actually make a difference.
And this breaks it down perfectly. What's in your control? Your choices, how much effort you put in, and how you react to things. That's it. What's not in your control? The final outcome, what other people think of you, and anything that's already happened. Real freedom isn't about controlling everything around you. It's about having the wisdom to know what you can't control and then focusing all your power on what you can.
So we've looked inward. Now let's turn our attention back to the external world. There are some basic rules to reality, and we have 2 options. We can fight against them and suffer, or we can accept them and learn to navigate with a little more grace. Okay, this one's tough to swallow. We're raised to believe that the world should be fair, but it's not. Good people get sick, people who work hard get laid off, and sometimes terrible people succeed. The universe doesn't owe any of us a sense of fairness. And as harsh as that might sound, accepting it is one of the most liberating things you can do. It frees you from that exhausting cycle of feeling like a victim. And this quote introduces this incredibly powerful Stoic idea called amor fati, which means a love of fate. Now, this isn't about just giving up and being passive. It's an active choice to embrace whatever happens, the good, the bad, all of it. It's the ability to look at any situation and say, okay, this is what I have to work with. And that is the foundation of real resilience.
Look, we're human, we're social animals, and we're wired to want approval. But trying to get every single person to like you and support you, it's a recipe for burnout and, frankly, for being boring. Real confidence isn't built on getting likes and validation from others. It's forged inside yourself by living a life that you know is true to your own values.
Let's just pause on this for a second. Think about it. So much of people-pleasing comes from this mistaken belief that it's your job to manage how other people feel. But it's not. You're responsible for your own actions, for your own intentions. How other people react to them, that's on them. That's their business.
This one sounds really cynical at first, but hear me out. It's actually a beautiful truth. Most friendships, most relationships, they aren't meant to last forever. People move. Our priorities change. We just grow in different directions. And that's not a failure. When you realize that most connections are temporary, it actually helps you appreciate them more deeply while they're here, without that crushing pressure of forever.
All right, we've arrived at the final section. This is where all those other truths we've talked about really come together. This is the point where we stop just understanding reality and we start taking real empowered action within it. So many of us are just waiting. We're waiting for the perfect mentor, the perfect partner, that one big break that's going to fix all our problems and give us permission to live. But that's the ultimate comforting lie. Here's the truth. No one is coming. The hero you've been waiting for is you. The responsibility for your happiness, for your life, is 100% your own.
And this is the truth that makes all the others matter. The Stoics had a practice for this. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. And the point isn't to be dark or morbid. It's to create urgency, to make you feel more alive, right now. It's not about fearing death. It's about using the idea of death to build a much better life. So let's make this really concrete. Forget vague ideas like one day or down the road. Let's just do the math. 4,000 weeks. That's about the average human lifespan. When you see it as a number like that, it makes you realize just how precious and how countable every single week really is.
And this isn't just some philosophical question to ponder. It's the most practical question you could ever ask yourself. Every hour you spend doom scrolling or complaining or just waiting for something to happen, that's an hour of your finite life you are never, ever getting back. This truth forces you to make choices, not excuses.
So here they are. These are the truths. That the real fight is inside your own head, and you only control your choices. That life isn't fair. That trying to get everyone to like you is a myth, and that most relationships won't last forever. And finally, that you have to be your own rescuer, because your time here is incredibly limited. These aren't rules for a miserable life. They are the absolute building blocks of real, authentic freedom.
And this really gets to the heart of it all. After you accept all of these hard realities, what are you left with? You're left with the power of your choice. A beautiful life isn't something you go out and find, it's something you build, one beautiful choice at a time. So forget about tomorrow, or next week, or your 5-year plan. What's one choice, maybe a small one, that you can make today that honors these truths? Maybe it's forgiving someone. Maybe it's finally starting that project. Or maybe it's just deciding to be fully present for the next hour. The real power isn't in knowing all this stuff. It's in doing it.
If these ideas resonated with you, go ahead and subscribe for more deep dives that cut through the noise and get to the heart of what really matters. Thanks so much for being here with me today.